Hi, my lovelies. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm just jumping on live here to cover some topics that I think are very important. So let me just wait until a couple of people are here and welcome you. I'm just realizing I might not have turned on this audio, but using the internal audio, which is okay. I'm not really going to sing. That's not what I'm planning on. So, doesn't matter. I guess the sound is fine. Let me know where you're from, so that I can say hi to you. And I will totally answer all of your questions after this. So I will dive right in. Just wave at me, tell me you're here. It's awesome to have you. It's been a hot minute since I have gone live, and so I thought this would be kind of fun so that I can directly interact with you all. Okay. Hi, Sylvain. Sylvain? Probably. Yes, I remember you. Eddie, hi. Netherlands. Awesome. Lynn, yes. Alex, hello from Spain. Sylvain from France. That's what I figured. France. La France. Okay. Anyone else? Julia, hi. Christoph, hi. Good to have you. Aviation B, hi yo. Hi back. Oh, by the way, I am in Germany, in southern Germany, in the Stuttgart area. If anybody knows where that's at, that's not too terribly far away from the Swiss border. Only about an hour and a half or so from here. Yolanda, hi from the Philippines. Awesome to have you. Really cool. So after I get through the lesson today, I want to tell you about my masterclass. So if you are interested in the masterclass, stay. Or if you don't have as much time to stay all the way to the end, if you don't have enough time right now, you can always come back and watch the video later. But I do want to dive into the lessons. So let me dive in and then hold your questions, the questions that are for me, until after the lesson, and then I will totally take your questions. And please only ask questions that are relevant to the topic, because everyone else who's watching the video afterwards, they want to have relevant coverage here. Okay, so I made a couple notes just to make sure I'm covering everything. So there are elements to singing, and I divided them up into the 4 main pillars of great singing. And you could say this is not only the case for singers, but really a lot of this could be applied to any instrumentalists. But most of all, what makes you as a singer so different from an instrumentalist is, number 1, you have words. No instrumentalist has actually words to communicate. And second of all, your body is your instrument. It's not something external, but it is internal. So the way you feel and the way your body, the shape your body is in, totally matters. I guess it could matter for some instruments also. So when you play the trumpet and you have an upper respiratory infection, you probably can't breathe as deeply. But in singing, the entire instrument is inside of your body. So of course, very important. So these are the things that set you apart as a singer. And it is your responsibility as a singer to communicate words. No other musician has that. So there's another layer on top of just being a musician. So pillar number 1 is your personality. And if you have been taking singing and studying for any length of time, you know that it does matter. The way you feel and who you are totally goes into the type of music that you like and the voice that you have. If you're maybe a more energetic, outgoing, extroverted kind of person, it might be a lot easier for you to sing loudly and high and a little bit over the top, versus a person who might be a little bit more shy, introverted, and quiet naturally. So for a person that is more introverted and quiet naturally, it might be a lot harder to sing high and loud, but it would be a lot easier to sing softer and maybe be more sensitive to small nuances or so. So Your personality totally matters. And what goes with personality is your mindset. I see so often, I see a lot of singers who have a negative mindset about their voice or about making any progress. And so when you keep telling yourself, oh, this really sucks, or you cringe and you think, I'm sounding horrible, I'm never getting better, it's not very constructive. There's a time to be frustrated sometimes. I'm frustrated sometimes. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, why is it still so hard? Didn't I practice this a lot? Why can't I still do it? But I always take it lightly, and I always take it with a smile. So whenever you come across problems and you feel like you can't quite get it right ever, don't don't get into the mindset of, well, okay, there's just no hope for me. Make sure you stay positive and be constructive. Constructive meaning identify what it is that you don't like, what it is that you would like to change, and what you want the end result to be. But always keep in mind your voice. It's the goal could never be to sound like dot 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 whatever other singer maybe is who is your role model. Don't ever have that goal, because your voice is different because of your personality and because of your individuality. You were born unique. There's no one who has exactly 100% your DNA. And that's a good thing. Everyone is unique and different. So always keep in mind that while, of course, you may want to emulate another singer's technique and maybe, try to copy what they're doing, the way they do vibrato, the way they support, the way they breathe, the way they phrase, the way they create a rasp in their voice. That is totally perfectly okay. But don't try to sound like them, as in have the timbre that they have, because you're not going to have the timbre. You're just going to kill yourself. So personality, always keep in mind that your voice is different from everyone else. Stay positive. Hi, Jones TV. Good to have you here. Keep your voice always like it's yours, and always remember it's very unique. It's not like anyone else's. So the second pillar of good singing is, of course, technique. But you can never separate technique from musicality. I'll get to musicality, which is the next pillar, but let me talk a little bit about technique. So there are so many things depending on where you stand. It may be naturally easy for you to do really good breathing and take a deep breath. It may be really easy for you naturally to have good posture and to have good support. You may not struggle with that because it just comes to you easily. Or it may not be easier to sing higher chest voice. It's just something that you just do without thinking about it a lot. So that's awesome. But there may be some things that are totally unnatural to you. They seem like, oh my goodness. Like a lot of male singers, especially if they have a lower voice, it can be very hard to create head voice and falsetto. Or, as a matter of fact, full head voice is often harder because you can't let any breathiness in, and to really tilt into, like, tilting the larynx into head mechanism is hard for a lot of male singers who have lower voices, because it's not something you use on an everyday basis. So it's something that's very foreign, very strange to you. And so all these things that you could possibly work on, always remember to you always need to, it's almost like you need to have a running list in your mind of, these are the things that are my strengths. So there is something that I do know how to do, and that is an advantage. And then you have this other list that's opposite that list that you can look at and say, okay, these are the elements in my technique that I really need to work on, because they hinder me from singing this song and that song and the repertoire I want to sing. Basically, you want to be able to sing pretty much anything. However, here's the caveat. You can sing anything, but you can't sing anything in any key. So how high and low you can sing, there is definitely a limit. So in your point number one, again, individual voice. But basically, you want to be able, that's your ultimate goal. You want to be able to sing anything you want to do, whether it's head voice, chest voice, transitioning from chest into head, transitioning from head into chest, going into falsetto with an intentional flip, creating a little bit of vocal fry onset, having a little rasp. You want to be able to do anything you want to do so that you can tell your voice, oh, this is what I want to do now. You don't want to be limited by, oh, I would love to sing this song, but well, I'm just limited by my skills because I can't quite do this. That's frustrating then. So that's the ultimate goal. But of course, that is a long way. That is the ideal. And like, I will never get there. And we all will never get there. Even Luciano Pavarotti never got there because he was awesome in opera. But then did he sing jazz? Did he sing pop? No, he didn't. When he sang jazz and pop, he sounded like an opera singer. But his goal wasn't to sing those genres. But when he was like, as far as he was concerned, singing opera as a tenor, he could sing pretty much anything he wanted to because he had the skill. He had developed the skill, and that's where you want to go, really. Hi, Dave. Hi, Diane. Hi. Okay, I said hi to everyone else already. Happy New Year to everyone else too. So technique important. Always have those two things opposite, like the things that you are good at. There are things you're good at, and those things that you need to work on. And it's like a checklist. And it's not like it doesn't work like, okay, I need to work on support, high belting, vocal cord closure. And now let me just work on vocal cord closure and then check it off because now I know how to do it and now I move on to the next thing. That's not how it works. It's not like you can just focus on one thing and then there comes the time when you perfected that and then you just do the next thing. It's not like, it's not like a lesson when you do math or something. It's not like learning how to do an equation with two variables. And then once you know how to do that, then you can move on to, how do you call those, unequations? Like when it's not an equal, but it's an unequal. But anyway, different approach yet again, same basics, but different approach again. But that's not how it works in singing or in music, as a matter of fact. Well, in music it could, but it all builds, and singing really is a lot about habits. So building habits. And the way you build habits, since this is something physical, your brain has to begin doing things automatically. And this doesn't happen like now I'm practicing and then comes the point where I just automatically do it. It's a very slow and gradual process. So you might do it right 10 times and then you might fail a couple times and then do it right again 3 times and then fail 5 times. And it's a constant up and down, but the trend always goes up. It's like the stock market. I'm an investor by now, so I always like to use the stock market. But it's like, as long as the long-term curve shows that there is an upward trend, you're good to go. And that's how it goes. If you continually practice and there is a long-term upward trend, you're doing it right. So there's always going to be ups and downs and ups and downs and a little bit up and a lot down and a little bit up and a little bit down and a lot up. And then it's going to be plateauing. But the long-term trend is what's really important. So have that checklist, but always keep returning. You always want to keep returning. You want to pick something and put it on like top priority, something you're really focusing on, and process. Bye, Christoph. I'm sorry. See you later. Yeah, see you later. Okay. Christoph is in my masterclass, so it's awesome. So the next thing, which ties into this, is, as you practice, as you have that list of issues that you need to work on, it is essential for great singing. You need to pick the right repertoire. It doesn't matter how awesome you are. You could be an awesome singer, but if you choose the wrong repertoire, a song that's just in the wrong key for you, although, of course, technically, You could sing almost everything. If you have good technique, you could sing almost everything, but that doesn't mean you should sing almost everything. Just because you can sing this high or that low, that doesn't mean that is the best key for you. So choosing the right repertoire and the right key is so essential because, you know, for me, sometimes I have sung with orchestras or bands and they picked songs, or of course they had songs in a key when there's an orchestra. It would have to be completely rearranged to change the key even by half a step. So a lot of times they were like, okay, this is the song we want to do, and here's the sheet music, and that's the key we're playing it in. Well, sometimes I remember this one time we did On the Sunny Side of the Street. On the sunny side of the street, right? And it was so high. It was key for a male voice. And of course, I couldn't sing as low as a male voice because I couldn't quite get down. But octavating it to sing it an octave higher, it sounded, I could sing it. It was not a problem. I mean, I'm an opera singer by trade. And so high singing isn't the problem. But singing that kind of a song in all the way head voice, it just doesn't sound great. So I couldn't have sounded awesome on the sunny side of the street. Da 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 da. Say da 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 da. Doesn't sound as good. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. On the sunny side of the street. So it sounds so different when it's in the right key. Just wanted to illustrate that I have some videos where I demonstrate this also, how it profoundly changes the sound of your voice when you sing a song in a higher or lower key. It changes the character of the song completely and your approach, how to sing it. So choosing the right repertoire in my masterclass, I frequently get asked, and I always give suggestions after I know someone's voice. I give suggestions what repertoire would be perfect to address certain issues for that voice. Some repertoire may not help you get better, but it might make it worse because you're going to struggle too much and you're going to just do it all wrong. And so it might make it worse instead of better. And that's why choosing the right repertoire is the third pillar, and it's so incredibly important. Lastly, and I did touch on this before, the last pillar, and I just made a video about this recently, but I want to emphasize again, is musicality. As a singer, it's not just about singing the right pitches. It is so much about making music, and you can't separate technique and musicality, because the way you phrase, the way you accent the one, or the way you do a syncopation, the way you sing swing or straight eighths, it makes a difference whether you're bouncy or staccato or legato, whether you are doing a little crescendo or decrescendo, whether you are putting vibrato here or there. This, you might think it's just about vocal technique, but all the technique in the world isn't going to help you unless you know when to do what. And that's where musicality comes in. And as a singer, you're totally not exempt from learning musicality. And I urge everyone, begin listening differently. Begin paying attention to what your favorite singers do. When do they do vibrato? How do they end the pitch? Does it taper off or is it cut off? Is there an epiglottal close? Is there like a push outward of air? Is there even an onset? Is it a vocal fry onset? Is it a glottal onset? Is it a soft onset? Is it a breath onset? Like, what is it? Pay attention, because all those things make all the difference in the world. Hi, Harmony Choir. I will get into your questions in just a minute. So please, if you want to be a great singer, you have to also become a good musician. And I'm sorry to say it, I can hear the difference whether someone knows a little bit of music theory or not. It's not about knowing the theory, but it's about understanding what happens in music, what to listen for. To know that the one is usually accented, and if it's a 4/4 time signature, that the one is the most accented and the three is the second most accented. And if there's a syncopation, what is it? And how do you usually do syncopation? Syncopation usually means that you accent that syncopated beat even more because it goes against the flow of the actual time signature. And those are things that are important. Just listen to two singers sing the same song, two really great singers singing the same song, and the difference will not only be the timbre of their voice, meaning the sound, just the way their voice sounds, but the difference will also be their musical expression. And so that has a lot to do with musicality. How do you feel music? How does it flow? And what do you do dynamically? Really important. And even a pianist, you listen to two different pianists playing the same piece, there's going to be differences. Although they might be playing the exact same piano and they're playing the exact same pitches, but it sounds a little different because they're interpreting it differently. And that's where musicality comes in. So these are the 4 pillars. I'm going to answer just a few of your questions, and then I would like to tell you a little bit about my masterclass, which is open for registration now, only for a couple weeks. So, and I have a special deal for you. If you're interested, stay here till the end, and let me look at some of your questions now. And please make sure they're relevant to today's topic, the 4 pillars. So personality, mindset, repertoire choice, technique, and musicality are the 4 pillars that I think are so overlooked often, and one doesn't work without the other. Okay, appoggio breathing technique. Well, basically that is really what happens in classical music. And while my teacher didn't teach us a lot of names for things, these terms like appoggio, they come from the Italian bel canto school of singing. But what you want to do is you want to have nice expansion around your ribs, your belly, as you're inhaling air. And then as you're exhaling the air, you want to create compression. So it's that same principle of inhalare la voce, but it is a technical question, but I would like to stay on topic about what makes singing great and what are the most overlooked things in becoming a great singer. And I know a lot of coaches focus on 1 or 2 of the things, but I'm a big believer in everything is important. Your personality can't be detached, and like the sound of your personal voice. That's why there isn't a one method fits all for singing. That's why self-study, you can only get that far because your voice it's a very individual thing. And so you need someone who can tailor exercises to you and even to your personality, because one exercise doesn't work the same for everyone. I want to work Sylvain. I want to know how to work the narrow vowels like E, when you sing in the high chest voice. Okay. Of course, when you sing higher, you need to open them up just a bit. However, what is important is that even when you don't sing high on those vowels, and of course now I'm getting into this very technical question, which I don't really want to get too deep into right now. The question is, where are those closed vowels actually closed? And they're not closed on the level of the pharynx. They're closed a little bit more front, which means you can still have good resonance. So I'm staying open in my throat, meaning that the pharyngeal space stays open, versus now I'm nasal. I can still keep my pharyngeal space open, especially in chest voice. Now, head voice, you do have to open quite a bit, but in chest voice, same on E. So instead of see how I'm keeping the resonance? I'm keeping the resonance by keeping my pharyngeal space as open as possible. Okay, any other questions that are relevant to today's topic? The 4 pillars of good singing and the most overlooked aspects. I would like to know, please comment, have you focused on all 4 of those? Or have you missed? And which one did you miss? If you missed one of those ever, like if you have not even really focused or thought about them, so personality and your mindset, repertoire choice, choosing the right repertoire and the right key, technique, focusing in on technique, which probably is what everyone thinks of first, and that's what everyone works on most. And 4th, musicality and really becoming a better musician. I would love to read in the comments if you have had all those on your radar and if you are working on all 4 aspects and keeping them front of mind, top of mind, is that what that's how you say it? Or if you have never really thought about one of these and neglected. Maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe more than 2 of these. So personality, mindset, repertoire choice, and right key, singing technique, and musicality. I'd love to know. Let me know. Okay, so I would like to tell you about my masterclass because we are all individuals and there's no way around when you even watch courses and videos, you don't know if you're executing correctly. So any exercise is only going to help you if you execute correctly. So having someone, it could be you could be recording yourself on video, and if you have a lot of knowledge and a lot of expertise, you could watch yourself. That's what I do a lot. You could watch yourself and know everything. Awesome, harmony choir, awesome, using all of this. You could watch yourself and know and listen to and watch yourself and see, okay, did I execute correctly, or is there something I need to fix? But a lot of times you might not know exactly, like, how do I fix this problem? Not sure how to go about it. What exercise could I do? Or what song would be the right repertoire choice to address this issue? Or what key should I sing this song in? Is it too high? Is it too low? I'm not sure about that. So having someone to help you through, like, answer all of these questions and to make sure they respect your individual voice by not just giving you an exercise that, like, okay, everyone just does the same thing, but paying attention to your individual voice and that you are unique. That's what I do in the master class. And here's, let me see. As a male, I always struggle when it comes to bringing songs down to a lower key when I want to sing female high songs. Yes, I never know how many semitones lower. No, it depends on the song. I couldn't tell you, well, generally you would sing it 3 half steps lower or 5 half steps lower. It depends on the song and the tessitura of the song and the range of the song. Bye, harmony choir. I think having a voice teacher or coach in person is very, very valuable. Yes. And because a lot of people in this world, they work and they don't have time to go to a coach during the daytime, or they might live in a remote area, or they might just prefer to stay home. That's why I created my masterclass. And here's what we do in the masterclass. So it's 4 months. It's 4 months. I call it masterclass because I modeled it after actual master classes that I attended a lot. And so there's one professional who teaches a small group. However, it's really group coaching combined with individual coaching. And here's what we do in the masterclass. So, number one, we have a private Facebook group, and that's really where the majority of action and the work takes place. And when you're in the masterclass, you are part of this small group. Right now we have 15, never going above 20. So I want to keep it small because it's my first priority. And everyone gets to post whatever they want to post, like a short video. So what you will do, you will take your phone, put it up somewhere, and either record a little bit of an exercise you're trying just to get started, or a part of a song, or an entire song that you're trying, or 3 songs that you're trying. Post it in our private Facebook group. Private Facebook group means no one knows the group is there. So anything you post in there, none of your other friends see. It's secret. It's a safe place. And then after you've posted, you can post whenever, all like 24 hours, whenever you have the time, because we're all scattered around the world in different time zones, different languages. Of course, we do everything in English, but not everyone is a native speaker. And we've had people from Mexico, Siberia, all over the world, Japan, Italy, all over. So I will watch your video during my waking hours whenever I get into the group. And then I will record a video where I basically do a reaction to your video. So what you will see is your video and me commenting on your video as I watch it, and then I will pause it. Sometimes I won't go through the entire thing because I want to focus on a couple of issues, and then I will tell you, okay, this is what you did here, and this is what was good, and this is what you need to improve on, and this is how you're going to improve. And then I'll give you a homework. It's like, okay, I want you to try this right here, and then once you try this, post it, and then I will give you feedback if you execute it correctly. And sometimes we will do several iterations of one thing, so you just kind of go back and forth, but we can do it all whenever we have time. And the cool thing is you don't just get to do your own video and get to watch my video feedback to you, which, by the way, you can download. It's not like I have a plugin that I use, and then you can actually download all my feedback videos directly onto your computer if you want to. Yes, of course, there's a fee. I'll get to it. It's 4 months. So basically, it's my highest paid program because every single day you have full access to me. But you also get to watch everyone else, like everyone else's posts and everyone else's feedbacks that they get from me. And everyone tells me there's so much valuable in just watching everyone else's feedback and to see this is what they saying, and this is the problem, and this is what I told them to do, and this is how they changed after the 3rd iteration. There's so much learning in watching others learn. If you've ever learned anything and been part of a group and watch others learn, you can totally appreciate what I'm talking about. So, yes, how to sing like a professional singer. And of course, if you want to sing, if you want to be a professional singer, then my masterclass would be absolutely perfect. We have had singers of all levels in there, and I'll get to that. So we got that Facebook group in which you and everyone else can post. It's a very safe place, very supportive, very positive. We always try to be very uplifting, very sweet people, and always staying positive. That's what I'm really big on. So important to keep that mindset. Also, we have a weekly meeting that is live. We use Zoom. That's a free plugin, a free app. And we meet every Monday at 3 p.m. Central European time. That would be, 9 a.m. Eastern in the US. We are scattered all over the world. We have people in Australia and in Western US and Eastern US and Central US and Europe. So it's not easy to get everyone in the schedule. But even if you miss the meetings or only can make one occasionally, I always record the meetings, and everything I teach in the live meetings you can always catch up on later. I posted in the Facebook group also, and also I have a Dropbox, so you can always refer back to, by now, hundreds of meetings that we've already had. You have that entire library accessible to you. So the weekly meetings, and I do assign hot seats. Sounds a little scary, but they're not scary. Hot seat only means it's your turn to pick my brain and to ask me anything. So for about 20 minutes or so, it's all you, and everyone else is there in the group, but you get to ask me everything you want to ask me. And if you can't make it live for your hot seat assignment, like I will make dates for everyone, and so you know ahead of time, a few weeks ahead of time, when it's your turn. But if you can't make it live, you can always make a post in Facebook and say, okay, it's going to be my hot seat, but I can't make it, but here's what I would like to see addressed and discussed. And then I'll dive deep into that topic, and then you can watch the recording later. So next up, what we have is, and I have been evolving this masterclass. I have been tweaking it since I've started it. It's not the same as it was a couple of years ago. So if anyone watches this who was in there earlier, it has evolved quite a bit. Next, and I just started this, we do weekly challenges. So every week on Monday mornings, that's my goal. Every week on Monday mornings, I will post a short video to give you a weekly challenge. And it's always going to be just one small bit of something. And then you can try that over the course of the week. So you have something very specific to work on. Besides everything else that we talk about, and the tailor-made approach that I will help you with. So the weekly challenges, and you can also download those weekly challenges because those videos are also downloadable. So you can keep that and always come back to it later, like a year from now or 2 years from now. And the next thing that you will get is access to my Back to the Basics course to it later, like a year from now or 2 years from now. And the next thing that you will get is access to my Back to the Basics course, which is normally $250, but as a masterclass member, you have access to, by now, I think it's almost 50 videos. And the cool thing is, when you're in the masterclass, I can direct you, can tell you, okay, this is the problem you're having, and this is what we're working on. I would like for you to watch this video right here. And I often direct you to YouTube videos, and I will post it right in the Facebook groups. Okay, this is awesome for you to watch right now, because I know you search on YouTube and you get from one video to the next video, and then like by the end of the session, it's like, I don't even know what I came here for anymore, and I don't even, like, my head is spinning. There's so many approaches, and I don't even know where to start. And that's why the masterclass is really great, because I will tell you, I will direct you. It's like, focus not on a million things, but try to focus on just a few things and really work on that. And everyone in the masterclass, doesn't matter what level they were at, they were all amazed, because you gain a whole new understanding. It's like, whoa, revelations about your voice, revelations about how to approach music, things you have never heard of, I'm sure. Because so far, almost everyone had that reaction. It's like, like some people said, I have been taking lessons for 10 years, even from college professors. And like what I've learned here in a couple of weeks, nobody ever taught me that. And it's not like, it's just because I'm not just a coach. I am a performing artist, and I have been on stage for decades. That's really what I've been doing a lot. And even to this day, I'm on stage all the time. So I'm not just a vocal coach who just tells people how to sing, but I do it all the time. And my approach is always it's not only technical, but it's always with that knowledge of, I've been there, I've done that. I know what works, and like when you have to sing for a few hours and what's healthy technique, I just know it because I do it all the time. And I know how personality is important, how expressiveness is important, and how belting for an hour what it will do for your to your voice. Or when you're nervous, or when you have a cold, you have to sing. I know all these things firsthand because I've been a performing artist for decades. And this day. You also get access to my Conquer Your Stage Fright course, which is normally, I think, $99, right around 100. And it addresses not just stage fright per se, but nervousness on stage and like not being able to be yourself as you're on stage. So I help you to be more confident and to get into the right mindset and some very practical technique to calm yourself and to make sure to get rid of distractions when you're on stage. And again, it's all my experience from being on stage, like being in professional opera theater, being in musical theater, being with orchestras, combos, church music, you name it. I've pretty much done it all. Yeah, that's what's in the masterclass. And so like I said, 4 months. The masterclass, it starts the day you register. So there's no set date. There's people in there right now, but a lot of them have been in there for quite a while. Some are going to be leaving us here soon, but I'm opening up registration now, and only probably will do it one more time this year. So this will be your chance this year to really nail it. If you really want to get in the masterclass and you're excited about it like I am, you want to really tackle your singing and make sure this year you're going to master your voice, I'm offering you a $300 early bird discount if you register by January 17th. So the discount code is just the word early bird in one word. And the link is actually right below in the description box to sign up for the masterclass. And of course, if you have any questions about it, I'd be glad if you just get in touch with me, maybe via Facebook or email. Get in touch with me and let me know if you have any other questions. And I'll gladly talk to you about it. So what's the best exercises to do in the morning to wake up your voice? What I like to do when I'm like, just beginning to vocalize during the day, I'd like to hum anything that is not too high and not too tight vocal cord closure. I don't mean breathy, but I don't mean a very compressed sound yet. So really just making your making your vocal cords vibrate just a bit, and then increasing intensity little by little. On my website, by the way, I have a free 30-minute vocal warm-up, and that is awesome because it also comes with a PDF checklist that you can download separately. But that checklist is going to be really cool because you can start on the top, and that's what you should do first during the day, vocalizing. And then, the more you get warmed up, the more you move down the list. So that would be really useful. Okay. Over the years, I've used my voice wrongly. Also, bad sound has affected my voice. How do I get my voice back to its original state? Well, if you don't have permanent damage, then the best way to come back to your original state is to really focus on good technique. And the best advice I can give you is don't do the hard stuff. Make sure you do easy things very well. And only when you do easier things very well and you have great technique there, only then do you move on to something more challenging. If you sing a song with your heart, it don't matter. Maybe I didn't read all. Oh yeah. Yeah, you gotta sing a song with your heart. That's definitely true. You have to pay, because tying back into my pillar, you have to communicate words and a meaning. And you can't communicate that when you totally detach from what the song means. Okay, how to sing high notes. I got tons of videos about that. And I'm about to wrap it up here. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me. It's been 44 minutes and 44 seconds. So almost 45 minutes. Wow, I didn't expect this to be this long, but follow me on Facebook. Join my Facebook group that's free. Like I have my masterclass group, which of course is only for paid members of the masterclass. But I got my free Facebook group. It's called Master Your Voice. If you're not in there, I'd love to welcome you there. It's really cool people. I think we got like 25 or 2,600 singers in there, and it's really nice and supportive. And yeah, download free tools on my website. I got so many free cool things in there, like 7 Days to Perfect Support, 7 days course, and a 5-day belting challenge. If you have not checked those out, those are free resources. Of course, on top of my more than 700 videos on YouTube and almost 200 episodes on my podcast, which you can get like on any podcasting app that you have. Yeah, get those free things. And if you want personalized coaching, then you might consider masterclass. I have to sneeze here. Something in my nose. All right, guys and girls, have a most wonderful and blessed day. I hope to see you somewhere soon. Always keep on singing and always keep a song in your heart. Bye.